Welcome to Chantex Multimedia live stream for November 26th, streaming live to your device from beautiful Brisbane City of Australia. And today we mourn the passing away of Madonna. As we know, Argentina will have 3 days of mourning, and we too pay our respects and pass on our condolences. As we know, it will be covered in brief in the news coming up as well. But right now, of course, it is time that we take a very quick look at the weather for today. Well, if you look out, it's looking like a beautiful day out there. But right now, let's quickly have a recap of the weather and what it's getting in store for us. As we know, around this time of the year, it could be very extreme conditions as well. With that, let's welcome Dilraj.
Good morning, everyone. Weather forecast for the rest of today is maximum 30 degrees. Brisbane area is mostly sunny with no chance of any rain. Light winds becoming east to northeasterly 15 to 25 km per hour in the middle of the day and then becoming light in the late evening. Fire danger is high. Sun protection is recommended till 40 past 3 and UV index is predicted to reach 12, that is extreme. And Bureau of Meteorology warns the indication of heat wave conditions for New South Wales and ACT. Let's watch the video.
Whilst the calendar says we're not yet summer, the end of November is going to be warm and it's going to be felt right across Eastern Australia. New South Wales will not be spared. Temperatures climbing easily into the mid-40s for vast swathes of the western part of the state and even into the low 40s for some coastal areas. So be warned, make sure you've got lots of water and lots of shade available, particularly on the weekend and even slightly into the new week in the northeast of the state. It's really going to be starting through Saturday and into Sunday and continuing Monday in some parts of the state. But yeah, as I mentioned, it's actually the whole of New South Wales is going to be affected. Predominantly those numbers above 40 will be west of the ranges, but yeah, there'll be places that will pick up just a little bit above 40 through places like the Hunter Valley. That's always notorious for catching something warm through there, and even the western parts of the Sydney metro area are likely to get into the low 40s, and that'll be over the course of Saturday and Sunday. And then if you're hanging out up in the northwest slopes, you'll be catching 45s even into Monday.
So extreme weather conditions, and of course we have the big heat wave that's coming, especially in New South Wales, as per that warning there from Bureau of Meteorology. Well, right, today is 26th of November. So what does 26th of November mean? It's revisiting the Bombay killings and the Bombay bombing. Of course, we know that every year on this day, people can't forget what really happened there. Let's get a recap on what actually happened on the day. One died inside the Taj Mahal Hotel during the 60-hour siege. Hotel chef Raghu Devra was one of those who stood face to face with death.
Shooting blindly. Some of my friends had got injured that time. I managed to hide in my kitchen, that's the chambers. But maybe I was not hidden so well because I was found out by the terrorists. They got me out. Me along with 2 more guests, we were made to stand in a line and we were shot point blank. Unfortunately, the 2 guests didn't make it.
And you could hear grenades being thrown, they were being hauled from across. The chandeliers were moving, they were shaking, there was dust falling.
India blamed the attack on Pakistan militant group Lashkar-e-Taiba.
The very fact we were able to open the hotel within 3 weeks, the very fact that the terrorists were not able to knock us down, the very fact that it has created a bond with all the families. So I think that symbolizes that power of one.
So yes, on this day we do remember them, and of course all the brave soldiers, and of course all the people who lost their lives, and the families who have been impacted by that terror attack. Well, but right now, let's very quickly look at the headlines for today before we go into the news in brief.
Here are today's top stories. Foreign Minister Maurice Payne has confirmed Australian academic Kylie Moore-Gilbert has been released from prison in Iran. Dr Moore-Gilbert was detained for more than 2 years after being convicted of espionage, a charge she's always denied. She was reportedly released in exchange for 3 Iranians held abroad. China has suggested Australian coal exports worth almost $700 million are being held up at Chinese ports because of problems with environmental quality. Dozens of bulk carriers have been stranded for months at 2 major Chinese ports, unable to unload. It's the first time Chinese authorities have suggested a reason for the delays. And Argentina has declared 3 days of national mourning after the death of football legend Diego Maradona. He was 60. Maradona suffered a heart attack weeks after undergoing brain surgery. He played in 4 World Cups, famously captaining Argentina to victory in 1986. And US President Donald Trump has pardoned his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. He admitted to lying to the FBI during the investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. On Twitter, President Trump says it's a great honour to offer the pardon to General Flynn.
So that's the news update for this morning. And of course, there's quite a lot that's happening out there. But of course, the big news is that Queensland is good to go.
I have just heard, and that is wonderful news. So can I congratulate Daniel Andrews, their Chief Health Officer, and all of Victorians, because this is just such fantastic news. So it means on the 1st of December, Victorians can also come to Queensland, and of course Queenslanders can go to Victoria as well. So very, very good news.
It's official. Well, is your state prepared for this?
Is my state prepared for this? We're absolutely prepared for the influx of people for the Christmas holidays. In fact, just yesterday, we saw a 250% increase in some of our tourism operators across Queensland. So that is absolutely wonderful news in accommodation bookings and, of course, flight bookings.
Flight bookings, as I mentioned yesterday, and today, just after this few of these news, we will bring to you the travel update, and in that we will look at what's happening with all the flight scenes and the travel scenes, what you can do, what you can't do, and of course the time being of the essence. If you want to book, now is the time. Don't leave it for later. But let's take a look at whether it is it a good time to travel right off as soon as the borders open, or it will be still risky, or there will be too many people. Let's take a look at this report. It's saying whether it is or it is not a good idea to travel when the borders open.
Around Australia, people are booking flights again.
My family are on the Gold Coast, and obviously I've been kind of stuck in Melbourne, so yeah, missing them desperately and excited to get back and see them.
Several travel websites are breaking sales records as border restrictions are removed.
Way more expensive than I remember. It has been a while since I've obviously been to the airport, but looking at like a couple of $100 at least each way to the Goldie.
Shares in Flight Centre and Qantas are taking off, heading back to pre-COVID levels. Tourism operators are also hoping a wave of domestic travellers will head their way soon, but unlike stock market investors, they're cautious.
The next month or two will really paint the big picture of where we're at.
While domestic tourism can return to Australia's surf destinations just in time for summer, it's a very different world. Borders could open or close due to outbreaks, making it difficult for people to plan, especially if they're worried about cancellation. Jess had to call off several trips this year. She's now wary of going interstate.
Because there's a chance that if a slight case of COVID comes up, they're going to shut it very fast.
The consumer watchdog has seen soaring complaints during COVID about the travel industry not refunding bookings.
One of the things that we are saying to consumers is, look, be really careful when you're booking at the moment. We know that things can change.
Ryan is only booking a one-way ticket to the Gold Coast to see his family.
Because I just don't know what's going to happen when I get there.
At least if he gets stuck, he'll be near a beach. Amelia Terzon, ABC News.
So there you are, up to date on Australian Indian Radio. Well, right now, let's take a look at Madonna. As we know, the star passed away at age 60.
There are no guarantees in this situation, and nor is there in the case that you've mentioned. But we'll continue to apply ourselves assiduously to this, and I'll ask the Minister to add further.
Thank you, Prime Minister, and it is absolutely the case that...
Sorry, we had to cross over to the Prime Minister's live.
...is different, and the facts and the circumstances of each case really guide us and are part of our planning in how each is handled. It is literally a case-by-case strategy. In relation to Mr Gillespie, his matter is still in part of a legal process within China. We continue to seek our consular access to him to ensure that we can provide that consular support and, of course, to seek to ensure that he has access to lawyers as well. Be very clear, Australia in all cases, at all times, absolutely opposes the application of the death penalty. That most certainly holds in relation to the cases that you have raised and any other case, in fact. There are many Australians around the world who find themselves in detention for a vast range of reasons. At any one time, Australian consular officials can be dealing with over 200 cases of people in prison globally, and those reasons are as vast as you might imagine. Some the sorts of circumstances that we've seen Dr. Moore Gilbert deal with. Others where charges have been made in relation to drugs issues. Others where domestic criminal laws in the countries in which Australians find themselves have been breached, and they are dealing with appropriate legal processes there. Every single one of them is a difficult case in its own way. Every single one of them takes considerable consular time to engage on and to provide support for, and we take all of them very, very seriously.
Prime Minister, Foreign Minister Andrew Probyn from the ABC. You would have noticed that she made, colleague Moore Gilbert made a statement outside Evan Prison talking about the Zionist regime, according to one translation. Would you be worried if the making of such statements was a condition of her release? And secondly, and perhaps this is for Senator Payne, have we expressed our thanks to the government of Thailand for their assistance in this matter?
Well, on the second point that you've just raised, you're making assumptions, Andrew, that the government doesn't confirm. And so that would be wrong for us to make any comment on that matter one way or the other. So that, I think, rests at that point. In relation to the debriefing of Dr. Moore Gilbert, will that be done when she returns and goes through the quarantine and receives the health support that will be necessary for her to make this difficult adjustment, and then we'll work through those issues, I'm sure, in due course. Maurice?
Thank you, Prime Minister. I think that covers off those issues.
Prime Minister Pablo Vinales from SBS News. Can I just ask you on stranded Australians? Some of them have told the COVID committee this morning that at the current rate it's going to take 7 years to get some of those 36,000 stranded Aussies back home. You said you want them home by Christmas. What needs to change for that to happen? Are you still confident that will happen? And to Minister Payne, can you assure those Australians that you're doing everything possible to get them home by Christmas?
Well, a couple of things.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very important segment. And as we know, our Premier has said, Queensland is good to go, and we are good to go. And with that, we'd like to welcome to the show once again Tanvi Goyal from Oz India Travel, who's been providing us with some valuable information on what to do, and now with this big news as well. So Tanvi, right now, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Umeshji. Thank you so much, everyone. This is Tanvi from Oz India Travel. Thank you for listening to us on Australian Indian Radio. It's really exciting, as Umeshji said. Even I'm so excited that our border is going to open. I'll tell you a bit more news about that as well a bit later. But yeah, it's definitely exciting. So before we proceed, I would like to tell you all the advices and discussion we had today. It's as per the current updates we have. For all up-to-date information, please check the relevant websites or call us, because rules may change anytime.
And quite rightfully said that rules may change. And of course, what is the information that we do provide from here is general information. Everyone's individual case might differ as well. So Tanvi, moving on with the show, what is the main update for this week?
One thing we already said, our borders are good to go, Umeshji. That's really amazing. So before we go ahead, guys, I also want to mention one thing, that we do not operate any flights ourselves. We have partnered with all the charter companies in Australia, so we got all options for you. So if you need anything based on your circumstances, we can guide you. And here also we are giving you all up-to-date information about the flights and tours and everything related to travel. So the new update, Umeshji, as we know that the Victorians now don't need any border pass from 1st of December, which is amazing. And also the New South Wales citizens also don't need anything. So you guys are good to go, except the South Australian guys. Just you have to wait a little bit. As our Premier said yesterday, she's going to review once again by the end of the month, and hopefully everything will be better. So we all have to do the right thing, and it will be all good. She also mentioned that the caution about the inbound arrivals and ensuring the quarantine arrangements are absolutely solid. So she is very strict about that. And she also mentioned it's not the time to open up the international borders yet. Because some of you, in fact, every single day I'm getting calls from people, tell me everything else is good. Just tell me when the international border is going to open. So guys, since situation is still not that good, you know, in India, there are some lockdowns happening in Delhi, and also Maharashtra is very strict, and even other countries, European countries as well, they still got a lot of COVID happening. So international borders seems not opening at this stage. We might hear some more news in January or February, or maybe we can expect things back to new normal around June 2020, but nothing at this stage. Next thing, guys, I want to tell you, Umesh, you remember we discussed about the Cairns trip a couple of weeks ago, and I got a call from some other people asking about the nearby islands in Cairns, whether people can travel or not. So guys, I'm happy to announce that there is an island nearby Cairns that's called Lizard Island, and they are reopening on 14th of December. And I know many of you, especially from Brisbane, are going to Cairns, so you can plan for that place as well. Now, to launch the Lizard Island, they are starting a new services. So personalized kind of free arrivals, check-in at Cairns. They are planning some new guided tours, some private luxury boat charters for fishing, snorkeling, diving excursions on the reef. And I'm so excited to tell you, because I live in Maldives as well myself, and I feel like Cairns pretty much same. So tropical island, this one has home for 40 beach houses style suites and more than 20 private beaches. So this is a time for you to really relax and think of this island. So you are good to go there. Another thing I want to give you another refresh. If you remember, we spoke a few weeks ago about the New South Wales voucher, which you all might get up to $100. So guys, there is another update because last time they mentioned that you can go to some restaurants, some dinings, some of the places you can visit using that voucher. So they're going to give you $25 for voucher of $25 up to $100. And this time for a trial, they're planning to release around 60,000 people gonna get email for these vouchers from 2,000 zip codes. And the best thing is this time it's just not you have to go, you can go to the particular place, but you can contact a travel agent as well. So this is exciting news. We still don't have much information whether you can stand weekend or not, but yes, today they have released the information that you can go to your travel agents as well and they can give you a lot more options and you can claim this voucher. This is exciting. Another thing, lucky Victorians, I want to tell you, I mentioned last time that Victorians might get something as well as a voucher kind of thing. So Victorians, I think you are another lucky one. You might have a double the price. So Victorian government is planning to give you around $200 worth of vouchers which you can have. So they are going to have more details. Maybe we'll share in next few weeks. And they're not sure whether they'll involve travel agents in that or not. But definitely you're going to have something. So be excited, and I'm sure Queenslanders, you should not be far behind. We are trying from here, so we all should get something great. Now coming to the flights, guys. So Cathay Pacific, if you remember Cathay Pacific as a Hong Kong place, a Disney place. So Cathay Pacific got the update. They are planning to boost their flights. So in December and January, they all released the schedule. Indicating that they're going to have flights from Australia or New Zealand to Hong Kong. How exciting is that? I don't know whether you can fly for travel or not, but I know many of you even got the business from Hong Kong, and the business travelers, I received a lot of calls that you need to go there to plan something. So guys, I think you are good to go. And it's just not from Sydney. Initially we had flight or Melbourne, guys. From Brisbane and Perth, I think you're going to have some flights weekly as well. So a total of 5 weekly flight services is also they're going to offer from Auckland in conjunction with Air New Zealand. So yes, guys, Cathay Pacific is all set to go from next month. Another one is for my United States lovers, guys. So United Airlines is also came up with the good news. They are going to announce with more frequencies between Sydney to Los Angeles. Routes 5 flights weekly, effective from 1st of December, just in next few days. So the Los Angeles route resumed in September, those who don't know it, alongside daily United Airlines services from San Francisco, which have operated throughout COVID-19. But those who are planning to Los Angeles, you're going to have a lot more options. So guys, that's really great news for you, an update for this week, Umesh.
Wow, that's an amazing update and wonderful news there. America calling. Well, of course, Queensland is good to go and America's calling. So, there will be lots of flights, and that's things which are going to be happening. And one of the things is that people will need to, make the right move at the right time. Time is of the essence if they want to book. Well, right now, what are the flight options from Brisbane now?
Amazing. I'm so happy to announce this today that in last week we have announced 2 charters, guys. You know very well that in last 5-6 months we had only 1 charter came every 6 weeks or 7 weeks or so. But this time, Brisbane, you are lucky as well. This time we have 2 charters going from Brisbane based on so much demand. And we know there are so many parents that we want to go back and celebrate Diwali back home. We have celebrated Diwali here and New Year back home. So you have 2 charters going. Let me just share the details with you. The first one is on 20th of December. That's a direct charter from Brisbane to Delhi, hardly 13-14 hours, guys. Flight departing 3:50 in afternoon from your own Brisbane airport and reaching Delhi around 12:55 in night. So that's the shortest flight you can have. And we have connected that throughout India as well to all the airports. So the fare from Brisbane to Delhi is $12.95, and if you want to have a connection to any other city in India, the fare is around $14.95, guys. So that's amazing. Another good news is for Singapore Airlines lovers. I know in Brisbane, you guys love Singapore Airlines, guys. So 1st of January, there's a direct charter of Singapore Airlines from Brisbane to Delhi, and the fare is $15.95. And once again, this charter also we have connected all around the country. And if you go with the domestic flight, one of the domestic flight, the cost is $17.95 for that. Now, I want to mention to you one thing here is generally, as you know, the domestic flights in India gives you 15 plus 7 luggage, okay? But in this package, we have, if you register till 30th November, at least this time, you're going to get a 15 kilos extra luggage without any charges, which means if you buy a domestic flight now, you get 30 plus 7. After that, subject to availability, we will definitely try to give you till maximum, you know, till the time we can extend this offer. But right now, it's definitely there till 30th of November. So don't forget about that. Next coming up, guys, Emirates. So you must be listening to us from last few weeks that we are saying, okay, Emirates seems going well in last few weeks. And I heard so many parents who are from Gujarat, from Ahmedabad, from Bombay, you know, it's not easy because when you go with charters, you have to change the plane and it's hard for parents. So you definitely can think of Emirates is going well now. And Emirates got flight lease every Friday and even so many more frequency, 3-4 flights from Sydney as well. So if you're going to Ahmedabad, you can take those flights. Up to 17 hours halt is there, but we definitely got you hotel there. And you can just go, and the fare starting $1,215 for the flight Emirates. I just want to mention one thing here, guys. A good news for you. So earlier, when we were booking the hotel for Emirates, it used to take us a bit of time. We send them email, they revert back to us, bit of time. But happily, this time they gave us a system where we can just check the availability instantly and we can book you instantly as well. So you don't have to wait till your price goes up. So this is exciting news. If your parents' visa or your visa is expiring, we are still connecting you from Sydney and Melbourne as well. So as I mentioned before as well, that we have flights going from Sydney and Melbourne pretty much every week. And those who have to fly before 20th December or after 1st of January, we can connect you always from Melbourne or Sydney. And the fare for that one starts from $14.95, Umeshji. So a lot of options for Brisbane right now.
That's amazing news. It's wonderful, you know. It's exciting times, you know. People are getting their bags ready. So what about the options from Sydney? What options do we have from Sydney?
Umesh, I would say Sydney really got a lot of flights. So the Vande Bharat mission flights are there from now till 28th of December. So Sydney is lucky in terms of emergency. So if anyone needs to go in every few days, they can have a direct flight around 10 o'clock in the morning, reaching same day 6 o'clock. The only thing, their fare is a bit expensive. That is $17.98. And if you don't want to pay that much, guys, we have 3 more charters available right now. So 3rd of December, 10th of December, and 17th of December. If you take any of these 3 charters, the fare is around $1,299, Umeshji.
So that's again a very good news. Of course, you know, if people really want to go, they might, you know, immediately then they'll go for the higher price. If they're willing to wait, then of course they have that other side as well. Well, lucky Melbourne. What's what's happening with Melbourne? So what are the flight status of Melbourne?
Okay, from Melbourne, Umeshji, we have quite a few flights. Again, the next available is on 7th of December. And then 8th of December, we have to Bangalore, 12th December, 18th December, 28th, and then 12th of January. So every week, we have a couple of flights up till January for Melbourne. So Melbourne shouldn't have any problem.
So, you know, Melbourne's got quite a few dates that are happening there, which is quite good. Well, what about, you know, in the last few shows, we were talking about people who wanted to come from India to Australia. So what's the update there?
Umeji, I'm really so excited. I would say the last time I was happy, but this time I would say I am excited to tell more update about India to Australia. Those who are listening, you have another hope coming. So if your parents, your family got stuck back home, things are definitely improving. So to give you an idea, we sent a passenger 5th of November, just few weeks back, and he happily called me yesterday, ma'am. I received a call from government saying you can have a flight back home quickly. So which is amazing. Guys, first of all, welcome to those, if you're listening, those who have arrived to Darwin on 24th of November, just a couple of days ago. And I heard that flight was quite, and very, very happy to know that there were so many passengers. Generally, we heard that 30-50 passengers going, but this time we heard there were over 100 passengers, even over 150 passengers they brought to Darwin, which is amazing. I was in contact with so many passengers, Umesh, and they told me when the COVID test was very, very smooth in Delhi, they all arrived day before, and they were, the testing people were coming to their hotel, or they were going to the nearby centers. Everything was so smooth. People got the even the test report within time. Even when they checked in, they were so happy. I got some pictures as well that people were so excited. It was very smooth and very, very exciting time for all. So congratulations to you all. You have done it, and now we have to help our other brothers and sisters. So please, those who have arrived, don't forget to share your happy news to everyone else. Facebook is the best platform that you can share that you have arrived well, and please give information to other people as well, because there are some people who are really sad and it's tough for more than 9-10 months and they feel there is no hope. But guys, we have to start that saying yes, there is a hope and you all can come fast. So another thing, Umesh, we received a call from some passengers saying that they got a call from government saying they can book Air India flight as well. So now a lot of passengers, I heard literally 30-40 passengers received call in last whole week where they were given option to book Air India or Qantas flight, so they don't have to get stuck anywhere. I know there are so many passengers still stuck, but definitely there are a lot more people getting calls and ready to come back home. So which is amazing, guys. Now I would like to mention here once again, if you have not registered yourself with Australian High Commission or DFAT, please do so, because these guys can only call you if they have your details and they know your reasons, right? So make sure you are all good to go. Another thing, guys, I know the Air India people, you are set to arrive today. Maybe you have already reached to Sydney or about to reach. So welcome to country, and I know some of you are from Brisbane as well. You have to quarantine in Sydney for 14 days, but we are here. We'll definitely see you whenever in one of the events. So be happy, guys, and don't forget to register yourself with Australian High Commission once again.
Well, that's wonderful news there as well, and would be good to welcome people back again. Coming back, like as you said, that's exciting. Yes, and of course now that people have started traveling, and there's lots of travel which has begun now, backwards or forwards or even local. So what are the things that people need to look out for? So what are the tips that you might have for people traveling at this time?
Umesh, we have already covered most of it in last few episodes. I would like to refresh everyone again, because this is the few points which seems people keep forgetting. So guys, you have to remember, always look for your documents, guys, because we still we have seen some people are missing their visa expiries. I heard some passenger told me that you have a 28 days of grace period, but I would say, why do you want to take hassle, right? If you have that period, keep that period if you want to use it, but still try to have all your documents up to date. We also discuss every time about the cash in hand. You should have some cash or card whenever you're going. And please don't just believe on what others saying. Like Umesh, you also mentioned in the beginning, because everyone have their own conditions, your situations. So please just don't believe what others are saying and blindly trust on that and follow that. For all the details, you can always discuss to any of the professionals. You can call us as well if you need any information. Always check your documents before you go to airport as well. So always check the date, because I saw one of the passenger, whose flight was 19th of November. But he landed, actually, he reached to airport at 17th of November thinking his flight was on 19. And later on, he's like, no, my flight is not on 17, it's on 19. So please always, whenever you get the ticket, I know sometimes, you forget things, but please check your date and everything, because sometimes, it's good that you reached on 17 and your flight was on 19. But think about it, if it was other way around, you would have missed your flight, right? So please check whenever you get your tickets, even though everything is confirmed and you know that person, everything is great, but always check the date your ticket is on, right? So your baggage should be exactly whatever you are taking. I want to share one more news that I know one of the passengers was coming from Darwin and he thought, his luggage is 40 kilos. So another instance happened just 2 days ago and it was very lucky. But his baggage was 23 kilos. So, by luck, he could take 40 kilos somehow with the help of other passenger. But guys, if you land like that, you might lose a lot of, your stuff because you are coming from different city. If you're from the same city, still it's manageable. But if you are coming from different city to Sydney, Melbourne, anywhere, please double check all these things because these things really cause a lot of hassle. And for one particular person, sometimes even charter gets delayed. So you can imagine for one passenger, if 3 out of 330 passengers because of one person flight is getting delayed, it's really not a good idea, right? So we all have to be very responsible. We all have to make sure that we are doing things right because everyone is already very stressed and we're already, thinking a lot. So just go with the flow. Just talk to your professional or your agent if you need anything and check your tickets and your things as well. That is very, very important. And once again, I want to mention to you, doesn't matter guys, you have booked the flights from us or not. I mentioned this, or Umesh also mentioned so many other episodes that we are there with you. We can give you free advices or anything related to travel. We are not a visa specialist, but there are a few things related to the travel which we can tell you that other passengers have done. But anything related to travel, you can always call us on 040-440-3264. And you can also call our landlines. One of them from Brisbane is 0738115084. You can catch us on Facebook. It's widely available. I'm mostly there to check what's happening. That is Oz India Travel. You can jump on our website as well, www.ozindiatravel.com.au. There is a click. I know some parents who can't really call, so you can just mention your number and it will come to us saying, call you back. We are happy to call you back, or you can fill the form on our website. So please don't worry about anything. Even just you need a little information about your travel you're planning to go in next few months or weeks. Still, it's okay. We're not charging you anything. Just give us a call, but please don't feel stressed. We all are in together and we'll go through it. Things are getting better and better. So I think the positivity is the key, guys. So those who have traveled, those who are going, let's just spread Facebook or all the places everywhere with positivity and things will get back to normal. So it's up to us, guys, how we react, whether we say the glass is half full or it's half empty. It's totally up to you. But guys, all I want to tell you is just stay blessed and just share the happiness with everyone. Just don't tell all the negative things all the time, because it's good to say that you had bad experience with something, so people have questions. But if you just keep saying that, that I was stuck and all this really affects a lot of other people as well. And we just have to help each other to come out of it, just not dragging them back. So guys, once again, thank you very much for listening to us on Australian Indian Radio. We'll be back again next week. So stay tuned 10 o'clock with Australian Indian Radio. You can check on our page as well. And yeah, stay happy, stay blessed, and Jai Hind.
Well, that's quite a wrap up there, and it's wonderful that you have mentioned about the assistance, and I know I have said that before, but I'd like to reiterate that once again, that if you need any assistance, please do contact Hanvi, as you may not have booked your flights, and as she has said that she's not a visa expert, but of course what arrangements are available, what are not available, what to be done, what needs to be taken, all those she is willing to provide as a community service to all of you. Isn't that wonderful? That is so great. And you were talking about how someone could miss a flight. I'll tell you what, I've traveled a lot, and in traveling a lot, you come across many kind of experience. I did miss a flight once, and of course, that flight was 12:05. So, it departs at 12:05. So, I went there and checked in, and when I went to the check-in counter, they said, "Oh, we were expecting you yesterday." So, what? But lucky I was with the airlines for a long time and had enough points, so they put me on in the next flight. So, because midnight, it becomes another day. Even though you're checking in on this day, but the flight comes on the other day. So that was, I'm lucky. That's why I don't like overnight flights. So anyway, Tanvi, once again, thank you so much for the valuable information that you have shared with us. It is amazing times. Queensland is good to go, and America is calling, so lots happening.
That's great.
Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Jai Hind. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Tanvi, for that wonderful information. As we know, we have received so many calls about, which flights are open and whether people can start booking flights. And I'll tell you what, you just need to go down the street here to Howard Street Wharfs. And yesterday, it was like the COVID had never been here, that many people. So, the same thing is happening with all the flight centers and everywhere. All the flights are being booked out. So, if anyone's thinking of booking any flights, now is the time.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Washa Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralted.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
And real estate is the world. Well, right now we'll finish off with the traditional Thanksgiving and joint with President Donald Trump.
Corn, I hereby grant you a full pardon. Thank you, Corn. What a great. On behalf of the entire Trump family, I want to wish every American a healthy and very happy Thanksgiving. We're here today to continue a beloved annual tradition, the official presidential pardon of a very, very fortunate turkey. Because Thanksgiving is a special day for turkeys, I guess probably for the most part not a very good one when you think about it. The first turkey to dodge the White House dinner table received unofficial clemency when President Abraham Lincoln's son, Tad, begged his father to spare his new friend. For the past 73 years, the National Turkey Federation has presented the national Thanksgiving turkey to the President. Starting under President George H.W. Bush, these birds have received a formal pardon every single year. Today it is my honor to present to you this year's lucky bird, Corn, and just in case we needed him, Cobb. Corn and Cobb. That's not too hard to remember, is it?
Now, that is not hard to remember, and even Joe Biden might remember that. Well, right now, the lead out story for today is when Australia, takes the citizenship away from one of the most notorious terrorists in Australia.
Osama bin Laden He's a great man.
Firebrand cleric Abdul Nasser Ben Brika was of interest to Australian security agencies long before his arrest.
I don't accept all other religion except religion of Islam.
Allah. Ben Brika's radical jihadist ideology prompted ASIO to raid his Melbourne home in 2005.
They search in my garage, as you can see.
Convicted of being both ringleader and member of a terrorist organisation.
They take just some papers.
He was sentenced to 15 years prison in 2008 for plotting terror attacks on Crown Casino and a packed MCG on Grand Final day. Ben Brika was scheduled for release earlier this month. That was extended until next month as the federal government scrambled to keep the 60-year-old behind bars.
He'll remain in prison whilst an interim detention order is in force pending the court's consideration of the application for a continuing detention order.
But the Home Affairs Minister is taking out some insurance.
I cancelled the Australian citizenship of convicted terrorist Abdul Nasser Ben Brika. He's the first individual to have lost his citizenship on shore.
Even from jail, Ben Brika's malevolent influence has been of concern. Notorious Islamic State terrorist Khaled Sharoof was one of his followers.
We did understand when we passed those laws through the Parliament that the cancellation of citizenship was a big step, but a necessary step in certain circumstances.
He may not ever come back to Australia physically, but he can certainly enter via the digital realm.
Peter Dutton today revealed 20 other dual nationals have been stripped of their Australian citizenship due to terrorist activity, but they've all been overseas. Ben Brika will eventually face deportation to Algeria, his birthplace, even though he's spent more than half his life in Australia. He won't be missed, but his case does invite the question, will the world be safer if Australia exports one of its problems? Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.
And that's all we have time for today. It's been wonderful having your company. It's always so good to see you. And if you have any feedback, please do give us the feedback. We'd like to incorporate that into the show, as this is your show, and we'd like to tailor it and tune it to the way that you would like. And of course, the updates that we provide throughout the week, there's the real estate updates and the much awaited at this point in time, the travel updates as to what you can do, which areas are open, the travel bubble. Of course, there's been lots of questions about whether Fiji or New Zealand. There's been lots of talk about the bubble between Australia, New Zealand and Fiji, and if that happens, that would be good. And we will, as soon as those announcements are made, we will inform you. If it is late for the show, we will post on our Facebook, on our website and on our EDM, so people will get to know as soon as that the news comes to hand. Once again, it's wonderful having your company, and enjoy the rest of the day, but most importantly, do stay safe. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me.